All right. Everybody can hear me? Thumbs up. Everybody's good? Excellent. Hi, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all. If you want to turn off your video so I don't see you, that's up to you. I will happily watch over you and make sure you look comfortable and supported. Make sure you have a few pillows or blankets nearby to act as props. I've been doing a lot of reading, so I happen to have two big fat books that work really well as blocks. So today is self-care day. Today is the day that I want you to, during this 75 minutes, to know that this is your time for self-care. This is your time to be good to yourself. This is your time to take care of yourself. Remember, in restorative, you should spend the first few moments of the pose making sure that you're comfortable and well supported, so that you don't have to keep fidgeting and propping yourself up. I know that happens sometimes. But overall, take those first few moments of a position and make sure that you're comfortable and feeling well supported, because remember, the better supported you are, the more your muscles are willing to let go and relax. So we're going to go ahead and start off with an upright kind of position. We're going to go into a supported reclined bound angle pose, a reclined butterfly basically. So prop your pillows up a little bit, and if you don't have books, you can always take a couple of pillows and kind of do like we do with the bolsters at the studio. And then maybe take a blanket to support your hips. Come sitting in front of your setup, feet on the floor. And remember, you're probably going to move down a little bit and then make your way down so that you're comfortable and well supported. And then once you feel completely comfortable in the upper half, walk your feet together and allow your knees to fall out. Now, if you have tight hips, you're probably going to need something under your knees. So do whatever you can. Using books, blocks, if you have them, wonderful. You can also use, of course, blankets underneath your knees or your thighs to keep them supported. So just make sure that you feel completely supported and comfortable, and then bring your hands to your belly. Now, I'm not going to stay in the positions. Once you get into position, obviously, you don't need to see me anymore. So go ahead. Yeah, definitely make sure you're comfortable there, Natasha. You might want to bring something under your hips so that you don't have that big curve right there. Yeah, that looks a little more comfortable. Take your time and make sure that you're comfortable and well supported. And then bring your hands to your belly. And begin to breathe into the belly. Feel the inhale, gently lift the hands. And the exhale, the belly relaxes down to the spine. Inhale, belly lifts, pressing the hands away from the body. And with the exhale, let the belly relax down. Begin to fall into that nice deep, rhythmical breathing pattern. If it helps to engage your mind, count your breath. And you're going to feel the body beginning to relax. As it does, you're going to be able to draw breath up into the ribs so that the belly lifts, the ribs separate, and with the exhale, the ribs fall together and the belly gently falls back towards the spine. Continue to breathe deeply. Of course, making sure, because we're taking good care of ourselves today, so you want to make sure that you are not breathing so deeply that you're getting woozy or dizzy. You want to make sure that you're breathing deeply but comfortably. And you want your torso to be expanding. You don't want to be lifting your back off of the floor with the inhales. So focus at the belly button. And perhaps the body is relaxing enough now that we've gotten into the ribs a little bit and we've started to invoke some of the nerves there that are going to help kick in the parasympathetic nervous system. So perhaps now you're able to draw the breath up towards the collarbones. Your inhale now will expand the belly. The ribs will move apart and the breath will draw up towards the collarbones, and perhaps, this is not required, perhaps the collarbones will lift gently with the inhale. And with the exhale, try to reverse it so that the collarbones relax, the ribs relax, the belly relaxes. And of course, remember, we don't alter our breath to keep up with the teacher. We'll always fall in step eventually. You breathe and we'll catch up. Let the breath lengthen and get nice and long. Keep up with this good 3-part breath. If you feel like you've fallen into a good rhythm, you can let your arms flop out to the sides if that feels good. I like to stay connected to my breath sometimes. So keeping your hands on your belly can be very comforting, and it can keep you very much in touch with yourself. Continue to breathe, following the breath in and out. And if you would like to add a little mantra, the one that I've been using the most recently is, I change my attitude, I change my world. Breathing in, I change my attitude. Breathing out, I change my world. I change my attitude. I change my world. And this is incredibly true. When you can get a hold of your attitude, of your mood, and change it, everything around you will change. change my attitude. I change my world. Breathing deeply. And of course, with the parasympathetic nervous system, that's what calms us. And you'll notice some physical reaction to it from time to time. Sometimes you get the yawns and your eyes will water. Sometimes you will just feel that complete relaxation kicking in. It's all good. Whatever your reaction to it is absolutely right. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Begin to follow the breath in and out of your nostrils. Focusing on the breath keeps us in the present moment. So as you focus on the breath now, it's going to bring you back to your practice. And as you become more aware of the room and your position and where you're at, go ahead and bring your hands to the outside of your thighs and gently escort your legs back to center so that your feet are on the floor with your knees pointing up, and walk the feet out towards the edges of the mat while the knees stay touching, and just hold there for a moment. This just supports the thighs in the other direction so you don't have to worry about holding them up. Good. You can go ahead and move aside any props you had to support the legs. And then go ahead and stretch the legs out on the mat. Move the feet gently from side to side. You can make circles with your feet. Just take some little movements here to give the muscles a moment to, go in the other direction. And then as you're ready, bring your feet back to the floor and press yourself up to a seated position. We are going to do our supported twist next, so we'll still use this same setup. Go ahead and bring your, this is my left hip up near your setup. and your feet are on the floor. So you're kind of sitting sideways next to it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to turn and bring your torso towards your setup. As your legs drop to the floor, you may need to adjust a little bit. And then bring yourself down with your head facing your knees. Let your arms get comfortable. And notice if you need anything. If you need anything like a blanket or pillow between your knees, you may need to stagger your knees a little bit. Good. And then try to bring your body as fully towards the pillows as you can, so that you're laying more on your, or towards, it's not going to be on exactly, but more towards your belly. And then we turn our head. Let your arms rest on either side. Yes, that looks really good. Let your arms rest wherever is comfortable, maybe on either side of your setup. Maybe you like to bring them up closer to your body. Whatever is comfortable. Close the eyes gently. And of course, find that good, deep breathing. Remember, there's never any judgment. Your practice is what is absolutely, positively right for you. And we know that our yoga practice helps to transform us. We know that our yoga practice helps to bring awareness and mindfulness to our inner lives. In the case of yoga, transformation doesn't necessarily mean change. Transformation does not mean that you are going to use yoga to change into something different or someone different. That's not what we're looking for. Yoga takes you back to your true self. The practice of living your yoga, your personal practice, using the psychology of yoga to uncover your true self. That's what we are looking for with the transformation. So when you hear the word transformation or change your inner life or transform yourself with your practice, we don't mean that you're supposed to change and turn into someone or something different. We simply mean that you are going to work through many layers. You are going to get in touch with your inner self, with your inner life. Continue to breathe deeply. Remembering that twists are very good for the spine and the digestion. And anytime you're bringing pressure to your belly, the way that you are right now because you're gently twisted and perhaps some of your belly is pressing against your setup, that helps not only with your digestion, but that also helps calm you. And it helps to move things throughout your digestive system. So twists are good. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Begin to follow the breath, bringing yourself back to your practice. Go ahead and press yourself up and then turn so that your back is towards your setup. You can come down onto your forearms, and we're going to go ahead and take a few windshield wipers. So bring your feet to the mat, knees pointed up, and let them just gently fall from side to side. Move really slowly, as though you're stuck in molasses. So you feel almost a weight, and you have to move slowly and with your breath. And then making your way back to center. And this time, of course, we're going to bring the other hip up towards the setup, which I believe will be the right one. We're going to let our knees fall down, bring our hands to either side of the setup, and gently twist so that we bring our torso down on our blankets and pillows or bolsters and blocks, whatever we have. Turn your head to face your knees, and then make sure you're comfortable. See if you need perfect pillows between the knees, anything additional to hold the head up, maybe a little pillow, whatever is comfortable. Find that good, deep breath. Once you get comfortable, find your good, deep breath. And I am doing little readings today from Living Your Yoga from Judith Lassiter, who is certainly one of the foremost restorative teachers that we have. And if you have not read Living Your Yoga, it's just a fabulous book. So we know that we don't expect yoga to transform us into a different person. We are hoping that our yoga will take you to your true self. So what this can mean is that you are willing to open yourself up to life, to all of its joys and to all of its pain. You certainly will include what you've always thought of as your yoga practice, which is meditation and breathing and your asana practice. But it also means that your practice will touch everything, from your frustration with whatever is going on right now, to doing your housework, to getting ready for meetings. Your practice is to pay attention to your entire life, your thoughts, bodily sensations, especially in yoga, especially in restorative yoga, because we hold the poses for so long. You have to be comfortable and you have to pay attention. You're paying attention to your speech and your actions. Each moment of your life is a moment of potential practice. Practice can be understood as a willingness to return to the reality of each and every moment, to observe with dispassion and clarity exactly what is right now. Right now is your time to relax, your time to let your body open like a lotus flower. Just open up and let any stress, anxiety, and tension float away. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Allow yourself to follow the breath in and out through the nostrils until you feel present enough to press the hands into the floor and gently lift yourself up. And then again, turn with the back towards your setup. And this time just set for a minute with your feet on the floor, knees pointing up. And we're just sitting quietly, letting the spine rebound. And then let's take a couple of seated cat-cows. So bring your legs into crisscross applesauce or an easy seat, hands to knees. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, draw those shoulder blades together. Exhale, chin to chest, round the back. Inhale, sitting up. Exhale, rounding back. Go ahead and take maybe 3 or 4 more of these. Lingering where it feels good to linger. Stretching the chin up if that feels good. And then we're going to come back to neutral, and we're going to go into a supported child's pose. So you might need a little something for your knees. So perhaps if you were sitting on a blanket, you might want to leave it for your knees. Face your setup on hands and knees, bringing your knees a little bit closer. Let the big toes touch and the knees separate, and then gently bring yourself down. Now, this is going to require a slightly different setup. Yes, you look perfect, Natasha. This is going to be a slightly different setup. It might be lowered a little bit. I'm sure you're all, this is an easy one. I'm sure you're all in a good, comfortable place. As always, take the first few moments and make sure that you are comfortable and supported. And once you are, let the eyes close and find that good, deep breathing. And don't worry if you have your head turned to the side. I'll remind you about halfway through to turn your head to the other side so there's no kinks in your neck. And if you would like, find a mantra. If you need to engage the mind gently, you can use, I change my attitude, I change my world, or you can use so hum. So hum is a nice one to use, both because it's short and because it means we are, roughly it means, we are all one. We are all together. And we are. Our yoga community is all together. Our little Simply Yoga community is here. We're supporting one another. We are all one. We are taking care of ourselves and taking care of each other. So if you'd like, as you inhale the word so, exhale hum. So, hum. If you have your head turned to one side, very gently pick it up and turn it to the other direction. And re-find the breath. And it's important to know, especially with what we're doing now, that practicing being present with all of the moments of your life does not mean that everything that happens is okay and that you just have to accept it. Things happen in the world that are harmful and even frightening. The practice of being fully present may even move you to dedicate your life to change the suffering you see in the world. We are not suggesting to change into something you think is better or more spiritual. What we are suggesting is that you consider removing the layers of doubt, fear, and denial that keep you from experiencing connection with your own wholeness. And it takes work. It takes practice. It takes working through the fear. But we can do it. We do it. And that's how our yoga practice becomes a part of our daily life, whether we do actual asana practice or not. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Begin to follow the breath until it leads you back to your mat. And as you are ready, press up on your hands. Bring your knees back a little bit so that you're in a standard tabletop. And then take a few very loose and relaxed cat-cow movements. So you inhale and stretch the spine. Exhale, rounding up the spine. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, rounding. Again, move very slowly and linger where it feels good. Good. So the next thing we're going to do, go ahead and come to neutral. And the next thing we're going to do is legs up the props. So again, you can leave your setup pretty much the way it is. And you're going to want to sit down in front of it and bring your legs to either side. Then bring your torso back on the mat. And then one at a time, bring the legs onto your setup. You may find that you want maybe a little more height. And if that's the case, certainly bring something underneath. And once you get you may want something under your head or under your hips. And as always, take these first few moments to make sure that you're comfortable. Your hands can rest on your belly or flop out to the side. Try to feel very loose-limbed so that everything has a gentle bend or a gentle fold. Find that good deep breath. And begin to follow it in and out of your body. So as you inhale, feel the cool air coming in your nostrils. And as you exhale, feel the air warmed by your body. Remember, we're not working too hard. We don't feel dizzy or woozy from the deep breath. We feel relaxed and as though our body is expanding. The front of our torso is moving away from the back of our torso. We're making space. And as you're following the cool air in and the warm air out, assign a color to the breath. So blue coming in, red leaving. So inhale, visualize the cool blue air coming in, filling up your lungs, filling up your torso. Watch it turning red and exhale as the red air leaves the body, warmed by the body. Inhale blue, filling the lungs, filling the torso. It's warming and changing to red. Exhale, release the red. Inhale blue, exhale red. Continue to breathe deeply, following the breath. To practice yoga in the deepest sense is to commit to developing awareness by observing our lives, our thoughts, our words, and our actions. I'm going to say that again because that one really strikes me. That really resonates with me. To practice yoga in the deepest sense is to commit to developing awareness by observing our lives, our thoughts, our words, and our actions. When we acknowledge that ultimately there are no answers outside of ourselves, when we acknowledge that the answers reside within us and that our books, our gurus, our mentors, they can help steer us there. But the answers are within us. We find those answers by stripping away the layers, stripping away the fear, the doubt, knowing what we say, what we do, how it affects us, how it affects others. These are our answers. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Begin to follow the breath. The awareness of the breath is one of the best methods of self-care you can have in yoga. Following the breath into the present moment, back to the mat. And go ahead, one leg at a time, draw the knees into the chest and give a good squeeze in. Breathe deeply here. Let your belly stretch up towards the thighs. Take nice deep breaths. Good. And then go ahead and roll off gently to your side and come up to a seated position. So we're going to do a supported forward bend. And there's two different ways you can do this. You can take your legs around your setup and fold forward, or you can bring the legs closer together and set everything on top of your legs and move forward. Whichever way you choose, make sure that you do not lock out your knees, that your knees stay somewhat bent. You can even put a little something underneath them if you'd like, a little blanket or maybe small pillows. And of course your feet stay soft. You don't press out through your feet like you do in a hatha class. And you can let your back round. Turn your head to one side. I will, of course, remind you to turn your head when we're about halfway through. Find that nice, deep, good breath. I like to do the forward bend before we go into our Shavasana, because compressing your belly like this brings a lot of relaxation. If you are having trouble sleeping, this is a really great asana to do before bedtime, or if you wake up. And the more supported you are, the more you are able to relax. Make sure that you're good and comfortable, fully supported. Good. Breathe deeply. And let's find that nice meditation that works for you, whether it's so-hum, whether it's I change my attitude, I change my world. If you have your mantra, go ahead and utilize a mantra to keep you in your pose and to keep your mind engaged. And if you have your head turned in one direction, very gently lift it up. Turn it in the other direction. And gently relax your head back down. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Begin to follow the breath back into the present moment onto the mat. Very slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Move aside any of your props. Straighten out the legs, well, they already are, and wobble them. You can bring your hands to your kneecaps, move the kneecaps in circles, that wobbles the legs. Just move your feet a little bit, whatever feels good to get a little bit of just movement back into your legs. And then we're going to set up for Shavasana. So go ahead and find a comfortable position on your mat. Bring yourself back down to the floor and have whatever you need handy. If you would like to place a bolster or pillows, whatever you have under your knees, bring a pillow under your head. If you're having problems with your low back or hips, it's always good to bring something under your knees or your thighs. The further up the leg you have your support, the more support it actually brings. So see, again, take these first few moments to make yourself comfortable and see where your props will do you the most good. And once you are comfortable and settled, decide if you want your arms out at the sides, or if you want to rest your hands on your belly, one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, whatever's comfortable for you and that you can sustain. Go ahead and release any effort with the breath. All you need to do is go back to your natural breath, your normal breath at this point. And what we're going to do is imagine that there is someone standing over your head with a glass full of relaxation. And they're beginning to pour that relaxation into your scalp. Scalp relaxes and softens. You feel the relaxation moving down into the forehead. There's no wrinkles or lines. It's completely smooth. The eyebrows move away from one another. The eyes are heavy, the eyeballs themselves, and really setting heavily into their sockets. And feel that relaxation trickling down into your jaws as you press the lips together gently and let the teeth part. Feel that relaxation moving down into the neck, the scalene muscles that wrap around the neck are relaxing and releasing. And as that happens, you feel the relaxation move into the top of your shoulders, down into your shoulder blades, down your back and spine. Allow the relaxation to travel from the shoulders down into the arms. The shoulders, wrists, and elbows are very soft and relaxed. All the finger joints are relaxed, no tension. And we feel this relaxation trickle down the front of our body. The belly is soft. You can feel the space from hip to hip in your pelvis. And you can feel those big glute muscles, your big butt muscles relaxing and letting go. Feel the relaxation move down into your legs, the hamstrings, the quad muscles. The knees are very soft. The ankles are soft, so the feet roll away from one another. And of course, there's no tension in the feet. The toes are all soft and heavy. So you have felt this relaxation trickling from your scalp all the way down to your toes. Everything is soft and relaxed. We let go of everything as the skin rests against the floor. The muscles rest against the skin. The bones rest against the muscles. And we let go of everything. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Bring your focus to your nostrils and feel the air moving around the cool air on the inhale, the warm air on the exhale. And allow your focus on the breath to lead you back to the mat. And as you become more aware of your surroundings, begin to pay attention to your body and notice if your body would like a little bit of movement. Maybe the head wants to roll from side to side, or the fingers wiggle, or the toes move. Or perhaps you want no movement at all, whatever's appropriate for you. And then as you're ready, if you'd like, take a nice long stretch from fingertips to toes. Press out through the balls of the feet and then through the heels. Maybe even stretch one arm and one leg and then the others. And when you're ready, draw the knees into the chest and give yourself that good, big, long squeeze in. Rolling off to one side. Let yourself rest there for a moment, lying as a child might. Feeling your heartbeat, feeling your breath. And as you're ready, slowly make your way up to a seated position. Bringing the hands together at heart center, bowing the forehead towards the fingertips. We take this moment to thank all of the teachers who laid the foundations of knowledge, the teachers who walk the earth and learn and teach alongside of us, and the teachers who will come later. The bright and shining light that resides within me and guides me on a daily basis honors the bright and shining light that resides within each of you. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Namaste. Thank you.